The friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, they are the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, they are the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. The best of creation, the most beautiful creation, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam has mentioned in various ahadith that the one who sends peace and blessings upon me, he will receive such and such blessing. One hadith mentions that the one who recites peace and blessings upon me one time, his 10 ranks will be raised, he will attain 10 good deeds, and 10 of his sins will also be washed away. Subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, welcome, marhaba, ahlan wa sallam, marhaba, to the new silsila called The Friends of Allah. And in the first episode, we are going to be talking about the blessings of the awliya. Who are they? And what was their lifestyle like, their blessed seerah? What did they do? How did they attain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal? Why are they so special? Why were they the chosen ones? And how come Allah Azza wa Jal loves them more than their normal bondsmen? In front of me, I would like to start, inshallah Azza wa Jal. Before we mention any narration, let's make some good intentions. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam has said, Niyatul mu'mini khayru min amalihi. The intention of a believer is better than his action. The viewers of Madani Channel, I would request you to make good intentions, that you will listen for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And as each narration that we try to cover and each topic that we try to hear, we will try to put ourselves in that person's situation. I.e., if I'm mentioning a narration, try your best, inshallah, to put yourself in that person's shoes. The reason why I say this, you will feel it more, inshallah. And try to always, just like Ahmadi al-Sunnat, Damat Barakatul Aliyah, has given us the Nek Amal booklet, try your best to do self-accountability. Meaning, when you put yourself in somebody's shoes and you try to think of their situation, then you are looking at it from their point of view, then you are comparing it with our own lives. So inshallah Azza wa Jal, there will be a lot of blessings through this. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. It has been narrated that one night a thief, he entered the house of Sayyidatuna Rabia Bisriya radiyallahu ta'ala anha. She was a very pious individual. She would worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and she was a waliya, a friend of Allah. This thief, when he went to her home, of course he's going to take something, to steal something, whatever he could find. But it's mentioned in the narration that he couldn't find anything. Whatever he searched for, there was nothing there except for one lota uwa, which is something that you use to purify yourself. When he saw that there was only one lota there, he decided to leave, that there's nothing worth stealing over here, it's only this small jug. She could hear that the thief was looking around, and she knew that all he could see was the lota because that's all she had. She was in a different room, and she said, if you are a clever thief, as he was leaving, do not leave this home without taking anything. He said, I did not find anything. So she said, radiyallahu ta'ala anha, oh poor man, enter the room after making wudu with this lota that you found and offer 2 rakat salah. Meaning, don't leave. Take some kind of benefit. He said, I couldn't see nothing. She says, do wudu, read namaz. The beautiful narration continues. After making wudu and before he left the house, he decided to take her advice. He read namaz, 2 rakat salah. And then as she directed him and he stood to offer salah, Sayyidatuna Rabia radiyallahu ta'ala anha at the same time was doing dua for this individual, i.e. the thief. She says, oh my Lord Azza wa Jal, this person came to me, but he found nothing. Now I have persuaded him to stay. O Allah, now he's in your divine court. Do not let him be deprived of your blessings, of your grace, of your favors. She done dua like this while he's reading namaz. When he was reading namaz, he enjoyed it. He loved it. Asta, slowly, his heart began to turn. It began to change, subhanallah. Then she found him scolding himself, his own nafs, his desires, in such a state that he was in sajda, he was doing prostration. And he said, when my merciful Lord will ask me, did you not feel ashamed of disobeying me? You kept hiding sins from my creation, and now with loads of sins, you are here before me? When Allah Azza wa Jal will inflict His wrath upon me and get away from His mercy, so what will I answer at that time? Just like this, Sayyidatuna Rabia radiallahu ta'ala anha, she asked him, oh brother, how did you feel? How did you spend your night? The summary of the narration. He said, I spent the night well. I enjoyed it. And listen very carefully, dear viewers of Madani Channel. He said, it was so good that I kept standing the entire night in the court of my Allah Azza wa Jal humbly. He Azza wa Jal has reformed me, subhanallah. He Azza wa Jal has accepted my du'as. He has excused me, He has forgiven me, and He has helped me achieve my desired destination. That person left in astonishment and amazement, subhanallah. Sayyidatuna Rabia Bisriya radiyallahu ta'ala anha, after the man left, she raised her hands. She said, oh Allah Azza wa Jal, oh my Lord, this person stood in your court for a moment, and you have accepted him, and I have been standing in your court for so long. Have you also accepted me? Meaning she's asking Allah Azza wa Jal. She's saying, Ya Allah, this man, to summarize the narration, a man came to her house. She's a waliya. She worships Allah day and night. She keeps her fasts. She keeps her roseh. She does good. She stays in parda. She stays in veil. Day and night, she's worshipping Allah. She's doing her ibadat. A man comes to rob her house. He finds nothing but a uwa. When he sees that uwa, he decides to leave the house. There's nothing left for me. She says, wait, perform your namaz. If you're a clever thief, do not leave my house. He's read his namaz. He's read his 2 rakat. He reads again and again. Now Allah Azza wa Jal has cleaned this man's heart. He came for what purpose? To do something haram. He left and He's purified his heart. Now she's asking, Ya Allah, this man has gone. His life has changed. What about me, Ya Allah? Every day I spend my time worshipping you. Listen, dear viewers of Madani Channel, with the ears of your heart. When she said, Ya Allah, have you also accepted me? All of a sudden, she heard a voice, Oh Rabia, we have accepted him for your sake, subhanallah. And we have also granted him our closeness for your sake. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, how amazing was this narration. A man came to do something bad, but due to the blessings of the friends of Allah, what was the blessing? The man came to do something wrong, and he left crying in the court of Allah, pleading. And he's so happy with himself, and he's changed his life. He's had that turning point. We all have a turning point, dear viewers in Madani Channel, where sometimes something hits us. It touches us in the heart. And for this individual, who was a thief, who knows how many times he went to steal? Who knows how many people he hurt? Who knows how many times he's robbed from somebody's house? He's left and he never got caught. Those individuals who have been robbed, crying, upset. Now he came to the house of a pious individual. He came to the house of Sayyidatuna Rabia radiyallahu anha, and look how his heart turned. And then to further help us understand, to get the fruits of this narration, when people might say, when shaitan might give us this waswasa, that it was written for him. Of course it was written for him to change his life. But how did he change his life? When Sayyidatuna Rabia says, Oh Allah, you accepted him. Did you accept me? Sayyidatuna Rabia, she heard the voice from the unseen. We accepted him for your sake, O Rabia. We have granted him closeness for your sake, Rabia. Alhamdulillah, that was his turning point. Dear viewers of Madani Channel and respected elders who are listening, never give up hope. No matter how bad you might think you are, we have many ulama among us today. And we have the friends of Allah, their blessed seerah, and how they got close to Allah. How individuals' lives were changed from being thieves, being robbers, murderers, killers, all sorts of wrong they used to do. If you look at throughout the history of Islam, how people would behave with others and what kind of sins they did. If you pick up any book, I'd say, of a special individual, of a friend of Allah, you will find countless narrations where through just one look or one dua, or the company of these special individuals, how the person went from a thief to a person who is close to Allah. How the person who was a murderer, he got accepted in the court of Allah when he repented truly from the heart. Subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. In his blessed book, Faizan al-Sunnat, Amir Ahl Sunnat, Damat Barakatum al-Aliyah has said, Sayyidina Abu Darda radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has narrated, without doubt, the blessed Anbiya alayhimus salam, they were awtad, subhanallah. When the succession of the blessed Anbiya alayhimus salam ended, i.e., when the final Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, he was sent to this world, and then he left this dunya. Allah Azza wa Jal made a group of people from the Ummah of Ahmad, meaning the Ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. These people, Allah appointed them as deputies who are called the Abdal. So we have the Anbiya, and after the Anbiya, the creation of the Anbiya was finished. After the final Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, who were the ones who were going to lead the Ummah? It's mentioned, Sayyidina Abu Darda says, the Abdal, rahimahumullahu ta'ala. These pious people, and listen very carefully, they were not superior because they fasted abundantly. They were not superior because of the glorification of their Creator or because of their ibadat, their salah, but rather they were superior because of their good manners. Subhanallah, their akhlaq. They had good character. They had high and true level of piety. Subhanallah, they were pious individuals. In the roots of their heart, they had righteous intentions. They protected their heart from hatred towards other Muslims. And these are problems today, dear viewers of Madani Channel. We're not pious. We don't stop to think that if I talk to somebody, how he will feel. We don't stop to think that if I am acting in a certain way, how will this person feel, this Muslim? How would he look at me? Or even a non-Muslim. Remember, the akhlaq of a Muslim 24/7 is being observed. And the greatest creation, the most beautiful creation, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, what has he taught us? From many of his beautiful, beautiful attributes, his akhlaq, his character. When people saw his blessed character, they entered the fold of Islam. Sayyidina Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu, he goes on to say that these people, these special individuals, they also had patience and wisdom, subhanallah. And they had this all why? For the pleasure of Allah. They had humility without weakness. And because of their well-wishing towards all Muslims, they are the deputies to the blessed Anbiya, subhanallah. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala wasallam has stated in the narration, Al-ulama'u warathatul anbiya'i, that the ulama, they are the inheritors of the Anbiya, subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, continuing with the blessings of the awliya, what has he, the greatest creation, said in regards to them? There's a hadith that's mentioned regarding these blessed individuals. We heard about what the Sahabi said. Now we're going to listen from the tongue of the best of creation, the greatest tongue of all the tongues, the jewel of all of creation. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam has said that the inhabitants of paradise, they will have dusty faces, scattered hair, and they wear old and torn clothes. They are not paid any attention the way we pay attention to others. These individuals who are the inhabitants of paradise, they have torn clothes, scattered hair, dusty faces. They have torn clothes. People are not paying any attention to them. These are the people who are not given permission if they want to go to the kings. If they send a proposal, put yourself in these people's position, dear viewers of Madani Channel, while I'm narrating this blessed hadith. The Prophet ﷺ is talking about the inhabitants of Jannah. If these people send a proposal for nikah, they want to get married, often they are refused. Imagine how you feel. Pause. Let's stop here, dear viewers of Madani Channel. Let's, me and you, put ourselves in their shoes. Dusty faces, scattered hair, worn and torn clothes. I have clean clothes now. You probably have clean clothes listening. But these individuals, they had control over their nafs. These individuals, people didn't pay attention to them, but they didn't care. The beautiful hadith continues that even if, and they would ask for nikah, for somebody's hand in marriage. Imagine how we feel nowadays when somebody rejects our sons or daughters. Of course we get upset. Of course we get angry. We get emotional. These are those individuals. If somebody sent a proposal, a nikah to women, they were often refused. The blessed hadith continues, when they talk, they are not heard. Their needs create panic in their hearts. These people, the Prophet ﷺ said, the greatest tongues of all the tongues, has mentioned this, that these people are paradise deserving people, subhanallah. And if the noor, listen very carefully dear viewers of Madani Channel, if the noor of any one of them is distributed amongst all of the people on the day of judgment, it will suffice for every single person, subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel and respected elders, we learnt many lessons from the blessed hadith of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and the sayings of Sayyidina Abu Darda radiyallahu anhu. Let's pause here for a second. Is when people refuse us, when people don't want to hear us. Today we have big egos. Today we have people, unfortunately, who want to be heard. They want to talk in a room full of people. They want to be seen as powerful. Today our egos, our nafs, we want people to listen to us. We want people to talk to us. We want people to come to us. But look at the people of Allah. Nobody paid attention to them. They weren't bothered. They weren't like me and you. We get upset over little things. They knew that they had to have a big heart. They knew that we have to do the work of Islam. They knew that we have to propagate Islam in all four corners of the world. They sacrificed, dear viewers of Madani Channel, they sacrificed every single thing for the religion of Allah and Sayyidina Rasulullah. They had understanding of knowledge. They had understanding of deen. Their egos, they crushed them. Their nafs, they controlled them. They were very careful on how they treated the elders. Nowadays, when we treat older people, we look at older people and we say, it doesn't matter if he's older. It doesn't matter if he has more experience than me. I know more than him. And just the case is like this with young children nowadays with their parents. Compare yourself, dear viewers of Madani Channel. Children who are listening to me, or youth who are listening to me. Do you say to your parents, you don't know more than me? I know more than you? When you see somebody, a very clever child who's giving time in religion, who's giving time for the deen of Allah, when he gives a masala, when he tries to tell you something good in the most humblest ways, in the most politest ways, do you shout at him? Do you disrespect him? Do you say to him that I'm older, you don't need to tell me anything? Where are our values and morals going, dear viewers of Madani Channel? We are Muslims. And we must always be humble and remember that we can't be compared to the prophets. We can't even be compared to the Sahaba. We can't even be compared to the awliya. Then why are our egos so high? Why are we thinking so much of ourselves? Let's make intention, inshallah azza wa jal, to carry on listening and to try to take heed and to try to control our nafs, inshallah. And the beautiful way to do this, dear viewers of Madani Channel, is to adopt good company, the company of Dawat Islami. Join this beautiful, fragrant environment where day and night you are reminded that we are nobodies. Our own souls are not in our own hands. So why are we talking like we know everything? And why are we walking with a chest out and a head held high? We should be humble. And we should read the biographies of the blessed individuals. Just like this beautiful, beautiful narration that's also mentioned in the Holy Quran. Subhanallah. Regarding the Ashab-e-Kahf, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum. It said that they are not prophets. However, they were pious saints of the Bani Israel. And their saintly miracle, what were they famous for? What are they known for? Subhanallah, today we will find out. These pious individuals, they kept sleeping in a cave for not 100, for not 200, for not 250, but for 309 years. Subhanallah. Approximately 309 years was their saintly miracle where they slept in the cave. And Allah said in the Holy Quran, and you may think that they are awake, whereas they are asleep. And we turn them over to the right and to the left. And their dog is on the threshold of the cave with its paws outstretched. Dear viewers of Madani Channel and respected elders who are listening, this beautiful ayah has mentioned three amazing saintly miracles of the Ashab-e Kahf, who are the pious saints. Number one, to sleep until now, like staying awake, subhanallah. Number two, turning from side to side by the order of Allah Azza wa Jal. The earth, its act of not decomposing their bodies and their state of staying alive without any food, subhanallah. So for staying alive for 309 years without food, and when you turn left and right, dear viewers of Madani Channel, in your beds when you're asleep, or you sleep on hard rock ground, that's not comfortable. Of course you're going to bruise. Of course your bone's going to get weak. A lot of things will happen, especially if you're there for 309 years and nobody finds out me and you are there. What would happen? Animals will come and start eating our flesh. People would walk by and not know you're there, that you're in that cave. Nobody will have any idea what's happening to you, whether an animal eats you, and then after your flesh has been decomposed, then your bones start to appear, your bones start to be scattered. Eventually the earth with the dust and the wind starts to cover them. All sorts of things would happen, but not to the people of the Ashab-e Kahf. And number three, their dog's act of lying until now is also their saintly miracle, subhanallah. And this is where I wanted us to reach, dear viewers of Madani Channel, that a dog, an animal, is being blessed. In the first narration we talked about a thief, we talked about people, how their hearts are being changed. Now we're looking at dogs, animals without intellect, how they adopted the company of the awliya, of the pious people of Allah. And this dog was also with them for 309 years and also woke up after 309 years without anything affecting him. Subhanallah. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, respected elders, we have learnt that the blessings of the awliya are only full of benefits. It's like a tree. When you plant a seed and you water that seed and then you give that seed some sunlight, eventually it will grow into a strong tree. When it has hard roots, when it has tough roots, the tree is so big, eventually at the end the tree will bear fruits and you will take those fruits. Meaning to say that let's try and plant the seed in our hearts today, that we will respect all the awliya, we will love all the awliya, and we will try to learn from the blessed seerah. Because what did we learn from the blessed seerah? That the one who is close to them will definitely attain benefit. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
The friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, they are the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah, they are the friends of Allah, the friends of Allah.